A Cold War sub-hunter built to track Soviet submarines is suddenly being called back to active duty in the South China Sea. On June 5, 2026, Tokyo and Jakarta officially activated a joint working group to fast-track the transfer of the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force Asagiri-class destroyers to Indonesia. This rapid escalation occurs as Chinese Coast Guard vessels like CCG-5402 continuously breach Indonesia's exclusive economic zone around the Natuna Islands, leaving Jakarta's multi-billion-dollar energy projects completely exposed and vulnerable. If these territorial incursions continue, Indonesia risks finding its strategic maritime perimeter rendered virtually useless. Leading global defense analysts argue that Indonesia simply does not have the 4 to 5 years required to build new Western frigates, leaving these 3,500-ton Japanese warships as their only tactical salvation on paper. Equipped with the legacy OPS 24 three-dimensional active electronically scanned array radar and 8 RGM-84 Harpoon anti-ship missiles, these destroyers could instantly alter the local balance of power. But why would Japan hand over these frontline assets right now? And can Indonesia truly afford the massive logistical burden of an aging fleet that requires a staggering crew of 220 personnel per ship? Before we go on, if you want to stay ahead of the global chessboard, hit that subscribe button now. Do you think these Japanese warships can successfully secure the Natuna Sea? And tell me where you're watching from. The geopolitical reality surrounding the Natuna Sea has reached a critical boiling point, leaving the Indonesian military planners with zero room for error. Throughout the first half of 2026, Chinese maritime pressure has intensified from mere diplomatic posturing to direct physical intimidation. The presence of the massive Chinese Coast Guard ship CCG-5402, a vessel displacing over 4,000 tons, has forced a dramatic recalculation in Jakarta. This heavy Chinese deployment directly threatens Indonesia's multi-billion-dollar tuna block gas field projects, which are vital to national economic security. On paper, the Indonesian Navy finds its current surface fleet stretched thin and structurally vulnerable against such persistent, large-scale incursions. Building brand new naval assets is a luxury that Jakarta simply cannot afford, given that modern frigate procurement typically demands a timeline of 48 to 60 months. This severe time deficit is precisely what makes the sudden availability of the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force Asagiri class destroyers a potential game-changer. Despite being designed decades ago, the Asagiri class possesses an aggressive teeth-to-tail ratio that immediately addresses Indonesia's frontline gaps. The vessel features the milestone OPS 24 three-dimensional active electronically scanned array radar, providing high-precision air surveillance to detect low-flying threats. For surface warfare, each ship carries 8 RGM-84 Harpoon anti-ship missiles, capable of striking targets at ranges exceeding 130 kilometers. More importantly, the Asagiri class is a dedicated anti-submarine warfare platform, armed with an 8-tube Asrock missile launcher, dual triple 324mm torpedo tubes, and a flight deck optimized for the SH-60J naval helicopter. This specific combination of high-speed detection and heavy strike capability offers Indonesia an immediate tactical solution to reinforce its exposed maritime perimeter before the geopolitical window completely slams shut. While Indonesia focuses on urgent coastal survival, Japan is executing a masterclass in regional grand strategy. Tokyo's sudden generosity is driven by a profound transformation in its own defense posture. In April 2026, the Japanese government enacted historic revisions to its 3 principles on defense equipment and technology transfer, officially unlocking the export of lethal military platforms to strategic partners. Simultaneously, the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force underwent its largest structural reorganization in decades, creating specialized regional patrol groups and introducing the ultra-modern Megami-class stealth frigates. This fleet modernization created an immediate surplus of older but highly capable hulls, allowing Tokyo to utilize the Asagiri class as a potent tool of maritime diplomacy. Defense planners in Tokyo recognize that Japan cannot directly deploy its own forces into the southern reaches of the South China Sea due to constitutional constraints. Therefore, the strategic calculation is to arm regional partners like Indonesia to act as primary bulwarks against expansionist maritime behavior. By delivering up to 6 Asagiri-class destroyers to Jakarta, Japan achieves multiple strategic objectives at once. First, it clears valuable naval port space and logistics capacity within Japan to accelerate the deployment of the next-generation Megami frigates and new Aegis system-equipped vessels. Second, it establishes a formidable, cooperative security architecture that effectively links Japan, the Philippines, and Indonesia. This arrangement transforms the Indonesian archipelago into a reinforced defensive gateway, monitoring critical international transit routes including the Malacca Strait, the Sunda Strait, and the Lombok Strait. Through this strategic transfer, Tokyo is successfully shifting the operational burden of regional containment, turning these former Cold War submarine hunters into active sentinels that protect the wider Indo-Pacific maritime order on Japan's behalf. Yet despite the strategic brilliance of this maritime pact, mainstream media analysts are largely ignoring a massive logistical blind spot that could severely strain the Indonesian Navy. The Asagiri class relies on a highly fuel-thirsty combined gas and gas propulsion system known as KAGAG. Utilizing 4 heavy turbine engines, this system generates a massive 54,000 shaft horsepower to propel the warship. While this raw power provides excellent tactical mobility, it demands an astronomical daily fuel budget that will test current defense resources. Furthermore, because these destroyers were designed decades before the era of advanced naval automation, each vessel requires a staggering crew of 220 personnel to maintain combat readiness. In stark contrast, Japan's modern Megami-class stealth frigates require only 90 sailors to operate. If Jakarta officially acquires the maximum 6 Asagiri destroyers, the Indonesian military must rapidly recruit and retrain over 1,300 sailors just to operate these legacy Japanese combat systems. Based on the Defense Working Group negotiations in early June 2026, the most probable scenario projects the first refurbished Asagiri arriving in Indonesian waters by early 2027. This timeline accounts for essential shipyard overhauls in Japan to integrate modern Western communication links. Ultimately, this transfer reveals a profound lesson in modern Indo-Pacific geopolitics. True strategic power is not solely about building the newest weapons, but knowing exactly how to leverage aging assets to instantly alter the regional balance. Japan is effectively transforming its older steel into a forward defensive barricade, locking down critical maritime choke points without ever deploying its own troops. For Indonesia, Accepting these heavy legacy warships is a high-risk but absolutely necessary gamble to secure their sovereign waters against immediate foreign encroachment. Will this massive logistical burden eventually cripple the naval budget of Indonesia? Or is this the ultimate strategic masterstroke that permanently deters rival fleets from the Natuna Sea? Let me know your exact thoughts in the comments below.